What's your hair type? It's probably a question that you hear so many times, and it's probably one of the first things you learn about when you're starting your natural hair journey, especially after the natural hair movement in the 2010s. Why though? Hi, I like to explain some topics surrounding natural hair in the Black community in the social aspect rather than only focusing on the scientific aspect. And today I am going to talk about the hair typing system and also my opinions about it. It all started with a man called Andrew Walker. He is most known globally for being Oprah's hairstylist, and his main goal overall was just to help women work with what they already have, and instead of being insecure of what they don't have, and to just basically enhance the feature. He wanted women to feel confident and be able to style their hair even though they might have some insecurities. Because of the beautiful work he has done for Oprah, he has won several Emmy Awards. But how did he go from being recognized as an accomplished hairstylist to being kind of hated in the natural hair community? Let's talk about it. If you have been on TikTok lately, a lot of people have been bashing him because they don't think that his hair typing system is accurate. A lot of people are saying that he's the reason why the natural hair community is in shambles, and often when they're talking about it, you can feel like the anger about talking about the hair system. I'm not gonna lie, the hair system did ruin some lives. But did he actually do that, or did we contribute to the connotation that the hair typing system has today? I decided to get the book and read it and see it for myself. And today I am gonna read the type 4 section to see what he actually had to say about it. He describes type 4A hair as being tightly coiled hair that when stretched has a S pattern, and for type B to be one that has a Z pattern. He also mentions that type 4A hair is more moisturized than type 4B hair. He describes type 4 to be fragile. He basically explains that the reason why our hair is more fragile is because we have less cuticle layers than other hair types. Listening to his description, I genuinely feel like there's nothing wrong about it, especially for the times that this was published. You have to remember that natural hair, even though Black people have had natural hair for centuries, knowledge about it, especially in America at that time, was so limited. When I was reading the book, I realized that he was describing 4A hair as high porosity and then 4B hair as low porosity, because he said that 4A hair was able to get moisture easily. And I think that he didn't know the terms porosity and density. This is my theory, like I'm not sure. I'm just going by the book. Another reason why I think that is because he described 1A hair as being thin straight hair and then 1C hair as being thick straight hair. So I think the different types of hair was really different density, different porosity, and then other factors, but they didn't have the exact term to describe it. A lot of people were using relaxers, straightening their hair. So seeing hair, especially natural hair, in its natural state was not that common. So I feel like his goal here was to bring light and show that Black people have hair and this is how their hair usually works. You have to remember, the hairstylist industry did not have people that educated on natural hair. He was probably one of the first people who was trying to educate people about natural hair. He was born like in the 1960s and is continuing now. So there's a lot of learning curves that he had to go through. There was not a lot of stuff that he could find to learn about natural hair. You also have to remember that there was no things such as the Crown Act. So a lot of Black women had to genuinely just straighten their hair, go to work, deal with it, relax their hair and deal with it. So a lot of people were not used to having their real hair texture. A lot of Black people were straightening and relaxing their hair. I think I was reading a book and it was upwards 60%. And that is a lot of the population that is not seeing their real hair. And that's why I believe that the hair type system became so popular, especially in the natural hair community, because we had little to no knowledge about how to take care of our actual hair texture, that we found this as like the solution, and we kept passing it around until everybody knew it, and we just started to use it as like a Bible. And relaxers were not that great either, and now we know that it causes cancer and other health effects. It really shows how harsh the standards were at that time. So in a way, him creating this hair type at that time was kind of revolutionary because he was showing something that was not broadcasted in the mainstream, especially how popular Oprah was at that time and still is. Him going on that show and presenting his book and explaining different hair types was a really big thing and a really big stepping stone at that moment, because natural hair was very frowned upon. Honestly, I kind of applaud him in a way, because he was really for the culture, for the hair. I don't know if Oprah had like a policy to not show when her hair is being done, but even with his other clients, you can see that he is really focused on doing people's hair, because I was trying to do research to find him styling people's hair. It was so hard to see, but that's how private he is with his clients. That really shows that he's for the real deal to do hair, and he wasn't using hair and being in like really influential spaces to just get famous. He was actually focusing on taking care. And yes, a lot of people have seen that he has made some really negative comments about natural hair and very ignorant comments about natural hair that I've also picked up in this book. But you have to remember that this was the time. And you also have to keep in mind that most Black people, unfortunately, have bias of being Black. They have bias of Black people. So you can't expect someone, just because they're famous, just because they're like well known, that automatically they're just gonna know everything about like the history of Blackness. They're gonna be unbiased immediately. Everybody has some sort of bias against Black people, and you have to understand the times. People are always like, the 90s, the 2000s, they were great, but at the end of the day, the crazy stuff that would slide in the 2000s and the 90s would not slide now. And they were saying a lot of crazy stuff. They're ignorant about Black people, so you would understand how always having that in your head, growing up in a time where there was more negativity about Black people, you would understand why he would have some sort of bias. Also, re-bringing the fact of relaxers, a lot of people were wearing their hair in relaxers, so a lot of Black hairstylists were catering their hair regimens to people that have relaxers so that they can maintain their relaxers, still grow their hair when they have relaxers, not damage their hair when they have relaxers, and just like protect their scalp health, because everyone was doing relaxers, jerry curls, any sort of chemical perms out there. Most of them were doing it. Wigs, weaves, straightening. That was the thing, because natural hair was not that accepted. So in a way, even though he has said some controversial stuff, he did still contribute to people paying attention to natural hair. And yes, it is not useful now, and I'm gonna stand on it. I feel like it's useful. I feel like it's useless. Like, you can tell when someone has natural hair. That's the way I pick up if someone's Black or not. Like, your hair is gonna tell me everything 99% of the time. So I don't blame him. He is one of like pillars, I don't know if you say that, but a significant figure of natural hair history, and he definitely helped contribute to the visibility of natural hair in its natural state, to the Black world, to the white world, just to the world in general. Because even to this day, people don't wear their natural hair like that, but people are more aware about their natural hair texture, and I genuinely feel like he helped contribute to it, even though there's a lot of sides that could improve. At the end of the day, we're all human, and with time, we learn. He has even admitted in an interview with 99 Invisible, I'm gonna put the link, that genuinely that was not his intent for the natural hair community to view him as such, and that was not his goal for the hair typing system.
But Andre Walker says he just wanted to make a variety of products for different kinds of hair. It wasn't at all his intention to create a hierarchy.
People have asked me, why did I label straight hair as number 1 and kinky hair as number 4?
I also asked him.
But my answer to that is it's going from 0 texture to highly textured. So going from 1 being straight to 4 being the kinkiest. And I've had people that have been very sensitive about that because they thought that I was giving kinky hair less importance by putting it in number 4 and giving straight hair more importance by being number 1. But that just goes to show you how sensitive, hair and texture is, for a lot of people.
It was genuinely for people to learn about their hair and work with what they have. There's a lot of things that are wrong with the hair typing system. I genuinely believe that we should throw in the garbage, but I feel like at the same time, we contributed to the negative connotations of the hair typing system. Now let's talk about the hair typing system on the internet. The hair type system first appeared during the natural hair movement in the 2010s, at least when it got popularized. I don't really know who started this, but I just know it was a big topic of discussion during the natural hair movement. A lot of people found it helpful because it did bring representation. It did show types of hair that you could have. And because so many people did a big shop due to straightening their hair until they couldn't see their curl pattern, relaxing their hair, so they never in their whole life seen their actual hair texture, that typing system was actually something big for them. But now I believe that the hair typing system has just become a paper bag test, something to discriminate against each other, because the only time I hear the hair typing system, firstly, mostly in the Black community, and mostly it's other people bashing each other and using 4C specifically as an insult. I don't even know where 4C came from. I should probably look it up, but it didn't exist. But people still use 4C as an insult. Like, I remember sometimes, I won't mention their name, would literally use 4C as like an insult, like a slur. And I feel like that's how the Type 4 system has become a slur, because, okay, that's a little bit too far. But I feel like it's getting there, because people are literally doing paper bag tests to each other, and it's useless. I feel like it's just for people to feel superior to other people. I don't understand the reasoning for people asking for your hair type, because your hair type is just how your hair looks. We all have coily hair, so why do you have to know the specific how my hair waves? It does not even make sense. The only thing that you should really know, your scalp health, hair density, maybe hair porosity, because I wouldn't even say that that's that important. I'm not sure what my hair porosity is really. I feel like it's low. I don't know. But either way, I've been doing my hair for over 6 years, and I have not been taking account of hair porosity, and I managed to grow my hair 17 inches. So genuinely, it does not matter. And I feel like it's just about picking. It's giving light skin versus dark skin, caramel macchiato. It's just useless. You know what I mean? That's how I genuinely feel about like the hair typing system. It's like when people like in middle school or in high school, they would be my skin complexion, but just because in the light they're a little bit browner or lighter, They'll be like, oh yeah, I'm a caramel macchiato. Oh, see, I'm a light chocolate. Like, no, you're black and you're dark skin, and that's okay. And I feel like that's what it has become. And also, the way we use it, I really feel bad for Andrew Walker, because genuinely, this was not his intent. Because even in the book, like now with the information I know now, I think he separated the hair types by density and how much moisture each texture could take, which that now would be known as density and porosity. So he was kind of trying to add characteristics. I'm genuinely curious how he got to this conclusion, but still, I think that the info is still relevant, but I don't think that it was classified properly. And we changed it into something it's not. Because of the hair typing system, it has created, that we created, by the way, that how we changed it. When someone would have their hair dry, they would be like, oh, that's a real 4C. But when they would have their hair moisturized, now it's like, oh, people are changing their hair and they're making it something it's not. And if somebody has their hair straightened, it's like, oh, they don't want to be black anymore. And it's like, it's as if we're forgetting how diverse natural hair is. And I genuinely feel like because of this hair chart system, people are putting themselves in a box, and they're like, if your hair doesn't look this zigzag, and if you don't leave your hair in this zigzag, you hate yourself, and you are like setting the black community, the curly hair community 10 years back. I'm gonna use myself as an example because I do my hair a lot. And as you can see, my hair changes, and I wouldn't even call this like manipulating my hair, because that's how natural hair is and how it works. It can go from super tight to dry to super coily and super defined. And I think because we have a lack of knowledge of natural hair, we consider this high manipulation just because it's a big difference, even though that's how natural hair is. It can be in diverse states, and that's okay. I only think that someone is manipulating their hair to have a different texture when they're using chemicals or when they're using heat by straightening. Because if you think about it, when you change your hair, whether you do a braid out, a wash and go, or anything that you use water and that's heavily water based, your hair stays the same texture. You can clearly see that you have afro textured hair, versus when you dye your hair, when you straighten your hair, when you do a perm, your hair does not have the same texture. So you doing a hairstyle like braid outs, wash and goes, twist outs, anything that involves water is not really manipulating your hair to make it look like something it's not, just because at the end of the day, when your hair is going to dry, it's going to retain that afro texture. So to me, in my opinion, the only way that you can manipulate your hair to change the texture is by using heat or applying chemicals to your hair. And it's like, we keep saying that our hair is versatile, our hair can do so many things, but God forbid someone wants to go with their hair in an afro. Now it's dry. God forbid somebody puts some gel in their hair. Now they want to make their hair something it's not. God forbid somebody just wants to do a twist out. Again, the same argument, making their hair something it's not. Someone cuts their hair. Too much judgment because of this hair typing system. I genuinely feel like we're in a jail and we're just like keeping tabs on each other, and it's not even because of the person who did it. When you start to think about it, we have made that a thing. We have made it in such that people are just obsessed about their hair texture. Like genuinely, if you really think about it, who cares? Like, who cares? And it's so annoying because of the hair typing system too. A black person having a loose a black person having a loose hair texture, people will ask them if they're mixed, Literally, my sister, she has like really loose hair and it's kind of fine, so it looks really curly. I wouldn't even say that she has coily hair, I would say she has curly hair. And every time, mind you, we're the same skin color, we look black, people always ask her if she's mixed just after they see her hair. She would literally wear her hair in braids, nobody would question her. But as soon as she would have her hair out, now people are asking, like, are you mixed? When she's visibly a black woman. And it's insane. And this hair typing system has created so many ways to be texturous, and I think that that's one of the reasons why the natural hair community has lost their credibility in some ways. There's so many other things though, but mostly this, because people are so focused on checking other people, checking what's their hair type, trying to feel superior, and it's a little too much. So I know I went on a rant about why I don't like the hair typing system, or at least how we made it to be, but now I'm gonna explain why the hair typing system is not necessary in 2026. One, it's outdated. This hair system came up in 1997, almost 30 years ago, and the knowledge that people had 30 years ago about natural hair is so different than what we have now. Yes, there's a lot of things that we could implement and a lot of things that are still relevant, but this hair type system is not one of them. We have to throw it in the garbage. It has done its job to show people that natural hair exists and that we need more representation, but now that we know that, we can discard it and go to something new. No hair typing system, honestly, I don't think there's any hair type system that is needed, to be honest. You only need to know if you have coily, curly, wavy, or straight hair. That's it. And you can clearly already tell. All you have to do, personally, if you want to do a test, wash your hair and put moisturizer, and you can feel the texture of natural hair. That's why I don't get. You can even see the texture through the screen. Or another thing you can do is take a piece of your hair out and see if it's gonna lift up by itself. It was so funny when I discovered my hair could do this, obviously, because our hair grows upwards. But it's also good to see like a visual, because usually I wear my hair down. But as you can see, it's up, it's afro textured hair. And even if your hair doesn't go that high, as long as your hair goes like just a little bit and it's standing and it has this texture, around this texture, your hair is afro textured. Do you see this? This is coily hair, this is afro textured hair, this is natural hair. You don't need a hair typing system to know that you're black, girl. Even though I guess there's some black people who have curly hair, wavy hair, straight hair, but you guys are not the majority. The majority of people have hair like me, and you can clearly see that that's your hair type when you just look in the mirror. So simple. Yes, there is other factors that contribute to natural hair, but that is density. Like, is your hair fine? Is your hair thick? Porosity, maybe. Like I said, like, I don't know how I feel about it. You need moisture. Your hair needs so much moisture. Your hair gets dry really quickly, so we need moisture. No matter if you have high porosity or low porosity, like, our natural hair needs moisture. So factors like that, or health conditions like scalp conditions, that. But generally, I feel like hair typing is mostly aesthetics, and it served its purpose. Aesthetics to show representation, and that was his goal, to show you how your hair can look. But now we already know how our hair looks like, so now let's focus on taking care of it and doing styles with it. So again, outdated, in the garbage. The second thing, I already said this, it's giving paper bag test. We're in 2026, lock-in. 3, people only use it just to confirm that they have good hair, and that, I feel like that was the only thing that people have been doing recently. And that proves even more how useless it is. To conclude, I genuinely feel like he had like the best intent when he was doing this. Yes, he did have biases about natural hair, but everybody did. A lot of people, even to this day, like my mom would always say how hard my hair is to maintain compared to my sister because she has very loose curls. This is a problem of the past generation. They've always had this mindset in their head, and we have to understand that like your people are not going to be perfect, but he learned from it, and you can even see his progression, and I think it's great. So I don't really feel like we should blame him for how hair was viewed, especially our hair was viewed in the 90s, because everybody thought that way. And as the years pass, hairstylists have become more welcoming to natural hair, even though I feel like we should do more, because we're going to talk about the horror stories of hairstylists later. Comment some questions you have about it, because that's going to be a long one. But yeah, we evolve and we change and we learn, and I feel like we can't really blame someone that has internal bias about natural hair when we all do, when we mostly all started like that, and it's really not any of our faults. It's because of, the history of Black people all around the world, honestly, and that's something that we just have to accept. Another thing is, I feel like him doing Oprah's hair, especially for 20 years, and committing to do a Black woman's hair on television, show her in a good light, make her feel gorgeous and fabulous after how traumatized she was from another hairstylist experience she had.
So shortly after I came to Baltimore with my lovely wash-in set that everybody thought was a wig, I was told that my hair was too thick. Now, it was the first time I'd ever been called into someone's office or called and reprimanded because my hair was, because
that's your pride and joy.
That's my pride and joy. So now I'm being called in to say, your hair is too thick. It's interfering with the chroma key and the news, and it's interrupting our ability to, portray you well on the news, because we're getting this, a ring around the chroma key. So your hair needs to be different. So I said, well, this is my hair. And he was saying, well, is there anything you can do about it? Is there any way you can get it straighter? Is there any way you can? And so they recommended a hair salon in New York City. So I'm in Baltimore. They were saying, we have this place for you to go in New York City, and they're going to fix your hair. So I am 22. Wow. 22.
They're going to fix your hair.
We're going to fix your hair. Okay. They also asked me at the time, would I consider plastic surgery?
What?
Yeah.
Did they say specifically what they were suggesting?
Yes. He actually said that your eyes are really, your eyes are really far apart.
Uh-huh.
And your nose is a little thick.
Uh-huh.
Would you be willing to do something about that? Wow. And I said, wow. In my 22-year-old naive self, I go, what do you mean?
Wow.
Yeah, I know, it makes my eyes water now. What do you mean? Well, would you consider, getting your nose done or plastic surgery or having your eyes done? No. Like cutting on my face? Like really cutting on my face? True story. So then they settled on, well, let's send you to this place in New York because they can do something to help fix it.
It does make my eyes water.
Yeah, makes my eyes water now I think about it. It's interesting because I was just saying to someone recently, I never thought anything, like now everybody thinks everything's racial. That didn't even occur to me that was racial. You know what had occurred to me? I thought I just wasn't pretty enough.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what makes my eyes water.
I did not think this is happening to me because I'm Black. I thought this is happening to me.
I honestly feel like that is so big, how committed he was to work with natural hair, how committed he was to work with Black women's hair, even though a lot of the times he did wigs. He cared not only about how the wig looked, but how the hair, the integrity of the hair looked. So the fact that he was her hairstylist for 20 years, do you see how loyal she was? Proves how much he actually cared about hair and how much of an impact he did with her hair. Like now she has a full head of hair.
I'm gonna wear my own hair.
You got a little extra piece right here, though.
I do not. Whoa!
I do not.
Whoa! I do not. I do not.
Whoa!
No extra pieces.
Whoa, that's
No. Go ahead. Feel
Wait.
the whole thing.
No!
Yeah.
That's all I got!
No, feel it. No, go ahead. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Wow!
Yeah, come on. You can pull it, feel it, see?
Get out of here!
Yeah.
Oh, man!
Yeah.
Growing up, it was always two things I knew about Oprah: good money and good hair.
My favorite era of Oprah is straight hair Oprah. It's like when she had a little bit of a bang. It was like early 80s.
When Oprah went,
That
okay,
body?
first of all, Oprah had some
Body.
looks. You were talking the feather. Oprah's feather was iconic.
Everything.
And then when she came with the big body curls,
Yeah.
when she came with the big body curls, I was like, okay,
honey.
And she would kill a ponytail too. She was you better let us know.
Yeah, we've seen her hair journey.
Listen, I love every stage of Oprah.
Because he learned about natural hair. And her hair looked great. You kind of have to like give him that. So yeah, he did do some controversial stuff. Nobody's perfect, and definitely I feel like we have to call him out. You have to understand the context of like the history, how people were socialized, and like how that city or that place was before like judging someone and being like, oh, they hate your hair. Like, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know where people lived for them to have that much disdain in natural hair. So when I see someone who hates their hair, I'm like, I'm gonna stay away from you, first of all. But I understand that it's not your fault, because genuinely nobody's first instinct will be to hate their hair. The fact that we're so hyper focused on our hair is so unfortunate, but hopefully, I have a feeling, I'm very optimistic, we're on the right track, and we're definitely going to move forward and learn how to love our hair more. I know this was kind of a ramble. The reason why it was so hard to get information, because he's such a private person professionally and in his personal life, which good for him, as you should. But I hope you liked this video and you liked my opinion about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, if you have questions about the hairstylist horror story thing, and you have like questions or comments about it, leave it in the comments. I'll definitely use it for that video. And if you have questions about this video, comment again, because I'll reply. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next one.